Welcome back from our long hiatus, episode 5 of the Lunch Hour. Today we're joined with a new guest, John Boshek. And today's a special episode because this is the Cross Country Runner podcast episode. And also I'm here with Ryan and Connor.
Once again.
It's crack-a-lackin'. Big smacking.
Now, in the theme of this podcast, I'd say let's run through it. Am I right? Am I right, fellas? Fellow runners.
It is a joke.
Fellow runners.
It's a joke.
I'm going to put in post, I'm just going to put in like the audience clap effect. With the laugh track.
Thank you.
All right. Just to kick things off, John, do you want to talk about yourself to the audience so everyone knows who you are? Like your address, your social security,
sure.
Your mother's maiden name.
So, as I said, I'm John. I ran cross country for 4 years. Unfortunately, I have.
I relate to that statement.
You're a little bit more of an unfortunate case than me because of all your injuries, but we'll get to that later. That's about all there is.
He runs.
John's a funny guy. He's good at running for long distances than the average runner does.
Slightly better than average.
Yep. I guess I will add. So we're all seniors at our high school, and well, I guess everyone else here did cross country all 4 years. This is my first and last year of cross country. I did my senior year. So everyone else here has a lot more experience.
I think Connor was 3-year runner. 3
No,
runner.
I did scuff. I did for first year cross country. I did scuff in New Jersey cross country, which is just not totally different than what it is here, but like it was scuff, man. We had some odd coaches. It was a
coaches plural in 1 year.
Yeah, well, no, because we had like 2 coaches, and they just.
Oh, okay, that's true. I guess.
Well, that one got arrested for drug possession and arms possession. They had to get a new coach.
I don't know if you're joking or not. If you're not, please elaborate.
He didn't just coach running; he was also a drug runner.
No, our coach didn't run, actually. That's what made him a special cross-country coach, you see. So, you know how, like, our coaches, when we go on a run, they run with us. Well, these coaches, like, one time me and my friend were just running the route, and we got, like, a mile in, and our coach was just sitting there in his car playing Candy Crush, so he didn't really run.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hype. Wait, what level did he get to?
I don't know, man. We were kind of busy dying on like the 6-mile route that he gave all the newbies. He didn't really care if we were newbies too. He just sort of was like, we all are like at the same level. We're all going to run 7 miles today, except for me while I play Candy Crush. Lol.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if he's not watching you, you can literally just turn around whenever.
Yeah.
Essentially. Many people faked injuries. I'm not going to say that, maybe I did or did not do that. I know many people that faked injuries. Maybe.
It's okay, the New Jersey coach can't get you here.
Imagine not frequently just getting injuries like legitimately.
Okay.
Couldn't be me.
One thing I guess we can add, if there's any people that are listening to this that actually did run cross country, we could add our PRs in. Ain't that right?
Shit, yeah.
Ain't that right? Other kid who ran cross country listening to this right now. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You love cross country. So
we all love cross country.
We are a slave to the cross
to the PR.
So I guess if we can say our PRs if we remember them.
My PR, I think, is 2020, and I was trying to break 20 this year, but I got a foot injury like last 3 races, so then like I couldn't beat it. But track's still coming up. We still have a chance, boys.
I'm kind of hyped for that. Yeah, my PR. I'm okay. I'm not gonna specify the exact time, but what I will say is that it's around 21:30.
It's somewhere around 21:30.2.
I can just go on athletic.net
with the 10 second with a 10 second with a 10 second you know, it could be within 10 seconds of 21:30. So it could be 21:20.
Going athletic.net as we speak.
It could be 21:20. It could be 21:40. Who knows? You decide.
I think mine was around like 22:30 something. I wanted to try to break 21 possibly for my goal to, or was it 22? No, it wasn't. I wanted to break 21:30 because I was technically JV1, but I was never able to beat it.
Oh, Ryan, your PR in athletic.net is listed at a 21:53.
Okay, no, it's actually 21:40. I don't know why it says 21:53.
Really?
Okay, let me explain myself. Okay, let me explain myself first. Okay, my first year cross country, I thought I joined up for track, so that was my mistake. So I didn't expect to run long distance. Anyways, my second year, I made some progress. I'd say that was like the most progress I've made out of a year. All right. Second year, there was this funny thing. My leg went numb when I started running. So what would happen would be I'd be in the middle of a race, I'd be feeling good. The 2 mile mark out of the the 5K, which is 3.1 miles, in case you aren't a runner, my leg would go numb and I could physically not continue running because I literally couldn't feel my leg as it was hitting the ground. So I would essentially just take a walking break. As painful as that is to do, I'd literally be forced to. And anyways, I essentially ended up getting pneumonia that year too, but I ended up still PRing by like around 10 seconds. And then senior year was just a case of the shin splints and became a stress fracture, and never really recovered during the season. So it was unfortunate. It's sort of like sure, I could PR, but I could also get injured.
Yeah,
that's my story.
I will go next. I also, like Ryan, ran all 4 years. I joined because I ran long distance track in 8th grade. I was like, hey, I'm actually all right at this. So I decided to just kind of go for it and do cross country. My final PR, I don't know what it's exactly at. I think it's 1915.
That's fast.
What a year.
Yeah, a lot went down that year.
Yeah. So 1915, which I got my senior year. So I'm happy that I was at least able to end with my PR in my senior year.
Also, wait, hold on. I just remembered
the sophomore version of me was my fastest meet.
I just remembered this. If there's people listening that don't do cross country, they don't know what that means. They don't know what our times mean. So, since I'm the expert and I ran 1 year, I'm an expert now. Let me break this down. So our time, so like example, mine was like a 22:30 something PR. That means in a 5K, 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles, that's how long it took me to run the 3.1 miles. So you're welcome.
Yeah, so just for like a kind of a, I think the average, if I had to guess, the average would probably be around like 22 minutes.
Yeah. So I started off. That was my first year running like time ever like running like that hard. I started off like 27, 28 something.
Like you got down to like, I don't know, you haven't said your PR yet, right?
No, I said it earlier. I was like 22:30, I think.
Yeah, because that's like honestly one of my favorite parts about cross country is like, yeah, you like there are going to be people who are just like naturally talented, like they are built different, and there's like at the end of the day you can't do anything. Yeah, like you can't do anything about that. But like if you just like show up and like do actually try at practices and meets, you will get to the point where you're like you're not bad.
Mm-hmm. That's what I loved about it. It was just I loved the routine of it, the hard work and like the payoff, and just the fact it was like starting off every race, I was going by like a minute or half a minute, where it's like this is insane. Like I'm seeing
that's the best. Yeah, when you just start out.
Mm-hmm.
Even like just the culture of the team. Like I've been in like multiple like different sports growing up, but like I've never been in one such as cross country, and I feel like part of that is just because it's like nobody's like super stressed. Like I guess like the top varsity is like I gotta make sure I PR, but like during practices, it's like there's such a light atmosphere to it, and everybody's
it's super low
joking around. Yeah, it's probably one of the best, in my opinion. I feel like it's like the
so
best
weird,
sport you could
like,
join just to like make friends.
Even when like everyone's like dying and stuff, you're still like having a good time, which is so like odd, I guess.
Yeah, because
like,
I mean,
you're able to have so much
you
fun.
have to share, you have to share in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going back to like, just like in terms of like the average times and whatnot, starting off at say like 30 minutes and then inching your way down to like 20 minutes, for example. I feel like there's like, I don't know, I think you guys can maybe also agree with this. There's like a wall at which point like your progress starts to get like much slower.
It's like a plateau. You just kind of
there's like a time somewhere between 20 and like 20 like 3 minutes. It's just that's when like you're not PRing by like 5 minutes or like 3 minutes at a time. You're
it's not a matter of minutes, more of a matter of like seconds.
Yeah,
like a 10-second PR becomes a big deal.
Definitely.
But like, yeah, once you hit that point, it's less about like it is just becomes solely how much work you put into it. And like there are other factors like weather and like the courses and all that, but like at the end of the day, it is just how much work you end up putting into it.
Or even diet. Like if you eat a donut before a race, you're not don't expect to do well. And it really makes
you're not gonna do well drinking a Diet Coke.
It really makes you think about your diet more, and it's kind of good because
it does. Yeah.
A Diet Coke might not help you, but 2 liters of it.
Dude, 2 liters before the race. When you guys were talking about weather, dude, there's so many just like moments like running in just like extreme weather that it's just like that's what kind of like makes it fun. Like I remember it was like track, I think my sophomore year. I think it was me and Ryan. There's like a blizzard outside, and like our coach was like, "Yeah, you guys can just run 2 miles and come back." And 2 miles is like easy, but it's like during a blizzard. So yeah,
just the march to Stalingrad that day. We were running in the snow. We had our hoodies tied up all the way. We couldn't see anything. Yeah. We ended up coming into the school, and like all the football players or people just standing around, just like not football players, but like all like just people standing around from other sports were just staring at us like, "You good?"
Like what the fuck?
We were covered in like water. We're all like red.
That's my favorite part is when like you tell people that, oh yeah, I just did like this like 2 miles in the snow, and they look at you like you're completely insane. I don't know why. I just like that part.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
The only experience I got out of that was that one meet at Pilgrim Park for us. It was cold and raining. So imagine you have to run in booty shorts and a tank top in the cold, in the mud, in the rain.
Dude, I remember I got just a giant like it was in like the first minute of the race. I had a giant wood chip just go into my spike.
Oh.
So like yeah, first minute for like the whole first mile, like it eventually just went out like naturally, but that whole like first mile, I'm just like feeling this thing at like the ball of my foot, and it's just a giant wood chip because it's stuck in the spikes, dude. It was so like,
dude, the hill on that course was insane. That's what I didn't do too good on that. That hill was absurd.
Hills on cross country are definitely some like,
yeah. I'm trying to remember like my most memorable meets, I guess, just from the conditions.
Nightfall.
Nightfall's just
Nightfall hits different every year. Nightfall for us, it was a meet, and we would run on a golf course, like a really flat golf course with like one tiny little stump of a hill, and it would be as you would guess, at nightfall. It would be dark out, and so the temperature, and usually it would be later in the season, so it would be nighttime. It would be cool out, and it would be flat, and there wouldn't be like a whole lot of terrain difficulty. And so basically, if you run Nightfall, you PR. And every year, Nightfall is like it's the peak of the season almost, in my opinion, at least, just because
you end
up running that, and then the next day you just get to stay and you get to hang out, whatever, running the blizzards.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, that's
like if anyone doesn't know, cross country's in the fall, like starting late August runs to early November. So like Nightfall is usually like mid-October-ish. So it's about like 40 degrees at like 8 p.m., I'd say.
Yeah, just about.
So it's cold, but not too cold, and it's like perfect terrain, and like it's night. It's amazing.
Excuse you,
Did you get that a little louder?
If you want to go to the flip side of that and talk about worse memories,
Dude, worst memories?
Oh man,
dude. I'd say there's nothing
my worst.
worse than like just getting injured in the middle of a run, because you're already like a mile or two out from like where you're supposed to be, and then you're like, I have to just
tough through
you have
it,
to like
or just give up and have to go back.
Yeah, I remember my sophomore year at Parkside, which is a course that's got a fuck ton of hills. Like in the we were almost at the end of the race, I think, and it was about half a mile to go. And coming down a hill, like I'm going down it super fast, like I always you try to do, and I hit like a tree stump, or not a stump, but a tree root or something like that at the bottom of the hill, and I twist my ankle. And then I didn't feel it at the time, but when I was done, it was the worst.
Yeah, mid-race injuries suck. I mean, I said this before already, sort of, but that one race at Mitchell Park, junior year, our first race, I think it was our first race, just straight up like 100 meters left, that last straightaway, I have to walk a little bit just because, again, my leg is completely numb. Everybody's like sort of watching. I literally, even if I tried, I couldn't land my foot on the ground without possibly falling. And so I basically just like limp across the finish line. That feeling of like not only disappointing yourself, but disappointing everybody like watching you disappoint yourself. It's the worst feeling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with that too, as spectators, though, you see so many kids like get hurt or like something, they limp to the end. Like, and that same meet I was talking about, where it was raining and cold, we were watching the varsity. This guy, right, like 20 feet before the finish line, just fucking throws up and just spits it and sprays it out everywhere in front of him. He like barely finished.
Yeah, like you see that so much.
Yeah. Like, actually, there's another funny thing that happened then. It was varsity. These two guys, they were just trying to get past each other. They're right on top of each other. This one guy,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he dove like to the finish line. I think he technically beat that kid because he dove, which is hilarious.
Yeah, this reminds me. It was this year when Mason like passed out, like just straight up, like.
I missed that.
Yeah, after a race. That was
after the race. See that. Was it before or after the finish?
That was for context, Mason, kid on our team. He like during one of our races towards the end of the year, just maybe about 50 feet from the finish line, just passed out completely.
Bruh.
I don't know. The silver lining is though, like some kid from another team could have easily just passed him up. Because like they're at the front of the race. Like these are like
he was super
like
fast.
These are people in like 10th, 15th place. Like he takes the time to like stop him, gets past by like three dudes, help him up and help him across the finish line. And like that's
awesome.
Those are the best people you ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's so weird because like cross country, like people are just like, oh, it's just running, you're just running a circle. Dude, it's like one of the most intense sports. It's so weird to like, because you have to be like insanely focused. Like
it is running, but there's like you're saying, it's not, oh, I'm just gonna go run and win. There's a lot more to it. There's more layers to it.
Yeah, I'd say because like in something like football or soccer, it requires a lot of technical skill. Like you've got to be able to do like you need to do quick thinking and like you have to make split decisions on the fly and whatnot. But say in cross country, literally all it is pure physical ability, pure endurance, and also just strategy and planning beforehand. And it's sort of like raw will, willpower and your training. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, I think that's when you compare like track, like cross country to like track, because that like there's That's one of the reasons why I like cross country more than track. Because cross country, you have a set distance every time, yes, but you have to plan differently for every course, for every like the weather you're gonna have, the people you're gonna be running with. Like it's different every single time. I don't know. That's one of my many reasons why I prefer cross country.
And the difference, and the difference too with track and cross country. Obviously, I haven't ran track yet, and I'm planning on doing it later this year if we still have a season. Is track obviously it's shorter distance. You're running 1 or 2 miles compared to 3 miles. Like you got to plan a lot differently because you got to be running faster for a shorter amount of time. You kind of like strategize differently.
And it's like a whole different ballpark. You have to. It's so different, even though it's just might be different by like a mile.
And with other sports too, it's like those are team sports. Football, it's how you and your team play. Running, it's how each individual person does for a team. It's not you work together. You're pretty much it's pretty much a solo sport. I describe it. I mean, your teammates can help you, encourage you and just help you.
I do feel like what the teamwork from cross country does come from. You guys are pushing each other. Like Chris tells me to run the extra mile for practice, and I go like, "You're right, Chris. You inspired me." So then I run the extra mile, and then I get better, and then that's what like the teamwork comes from. But when you're actually in the race, like it is kind of like all in your head. Like you're running the race as much in your head as much as you are, with your legs.
But one of the times, coach said like when you want to quit, that's your body. It's your body telling you to stop. It's your body telling you like in fear of it like dying or some shit. You got to stop, but it's just how long you can keep that pain up, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I think like you guys were talking about cross country. Cross country is an individual sport. It is, but it's like it's uniquely individual, and it's still most certainly a team sport. Like
absolutely,
because I mean, there's just how the race scoring works, but like race strategy involves running with other people. Like because if this person like goes out fast, like or I usually go out fast, like personally. So if I go out fast and I see this person halfway through like catch up to me, I know that I have to stick with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah. Something else about cross country, which I don't think people really like talk as much about. I mean, it's mentioned sometimes, but there's something about it that's like it's so sort of like primal in a sense. Like literally, like cavemen would just like run and like hunt, say for example, like a mammoth or something, and they would like literally humans in ancient times survived by outrunning animals and out-endurancing them. So
it's
there's
just
something
physical ability.
There's something almost like what I can't really find the word, but like there's something almost
like
intrinsic to cross country.
Like
it's like it's sort of it's this different. It's a different. It hits different than other sports because of
with like
simplicity.
Same thing with like wrestling, like fucking like one of the first Olympic sports the Greeks would do, like naked like oil wrestling, like shit like that, where it's like there's no like, oh, it's a team sport with a ball. It is just literally, it's just all it is how strong you are, either mentally or physically. That's all it is. It's just how fast and far can you run? How strong are you to pin another person to the ground? Same with football to a degree, where how strong are you? Are you going to be able to tackle that guy? How, can you hold that guy off if you're like a D lineman or some shit?
Yeah. I think part of that has to do with like the mindset you're in to run. Because I think we could all agree that like when you think back about a race, you can't think about much of it. It's just like snapshots kind of.
No, agreed. You go into autopilot.
You don't remember much of a race. Like,
yeah.
Because you just have to be completely and totally locked in. Because like if your concentration gets broken a little bit, like your form starts getting messed up, like your pace drops off and you don't even realize it. It's like, and that's definitely part of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I get what Ryan's talking about it, where it's like just kind of it's different.
It feels more natural to your body because it's almost evolved to do that.
Yeah.
Way. I mean, still humans aren't naturally good runners if you just look at our just our body and like how it's built, but like the fact that we've built so much in order to compensate for that. I think it's sort of interesting. Now, I would never paleo run. I wouldn't run barefoot, but
oh my god,
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I'm not trying to get a wood chip stuck in my foot. Like,
I remember one practice. I was like running. We were like doing laps around like one of our soccer fields that we have, and the coach, like halfway through, coach was just like, "Hey Connor," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's just like, "Take off your shoes." I'm like, and I'm like, "Okay." So then I just finished the practice just barefoot.
And then did you see him like out in the distance with like a super wide lens, like zoomed in camera, like one of those like 1 foot long camera lenses, like zooming in on you running?
Yeah, no, he had like the sniper scope on me. Like, he had it trained on me, not taking the shot, but just like
just practice.
Just watching, man. And I was like,
those really large binoculars, and you could just see his eyes from the distance.
Comedically large binoculars, like a cartoon.
It's like they have like his eyeball showing through like the other side of the binoculars.
And every time he blinks, you hear like the bump bump, like the bing bing sound effect.
Yeah.
Oh god.
This reminds me, Ryan, remember this freshman year, I had to run. My first sub 20 was without one of my shoes.
Ooh.
How much of the race was without your shoe?
Like the last 4K of the 5K.
Holy shit!
Yikes!
Yeah,
dude, that's always
it was the last race of the year, so there was nothing to lose, quite literally.
Yeah, honestly at the last race of the year, like if you're injured, you run anyways. If you're not feeling well, you run anyways, because that's even your senior year, especially your senior year. That's literally your last race.
I remember my senior year, I was like injured, but I was like, nah, I have to run this. Like if I don't run it, I'm not gonna be happy with myself.
There's always the tradition of someone sprints the start. I don't know who it's gonna be.
I don't think anyone. You guys nominated me, but like I really wanted to do well.
Somebody else did.
I really wanted to do well.
Preston and Strader did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, it's always funny like running a course and then just seeing somebody's shoe like in a pile of mud, and it's just like
I was just gonna bring that up. On that same course, it was like one of the like meets or two prior on the Mitchell Park course. That one, okay, so it rained like the day or two beforehand. Like it was raining a lot. So it's like these mud pits are probably at least like half a foot deep. And every time you ran because that time you had to run 3 loops. You had to run 3 laps of the route. Every time you ran past the mud pit, there was a new shoe in there. There was just another shoe or two. And sometimes you'd run past, a shoe would be gone. Like,
dude, that's so like
the mud ate them.
It's nature's lost and found.
That's why you're tired.
Oh my god.
That's why you tripled.
We were at Mitchell once. Like it was either when it was raining, right after it was raining, and we went like in that little trail, like that woodchip trail, kind of behind the Wilson Center, and there was some mud there that like I think literally half the team lost a shoe, and like coach lost a shoe.
Oh,
like it was a solid like 9 inches deep.
Dude, my favorite part about running like in a muddy course is like trying to see everyone trying to like jump over the puddle, but I just brute force through it, dude. Dude, I always like slow down, like kind of slow down and then like build up into like a long jump sprint almost. Like I see it.
Yeah, you gotta jump the creek.
I stop and then I speed up a bit, build up some speed, and then I gotta jump over it. Yeah.
Dude, I remember at one of my older brother, he ran cross country too. I remember on one of his old courses, he and his whole team had mud like all the way like to their shorts on their legs, and cross country we wear like shorts, dude, and they were just
shorts. Your nuts are hanging out.
It's basically your whole leg.
Your ass cheeks are flapping in the wind, dude. It's short,
dude. They just had mud on their just all the way up
everywhere.
There. So just and like my brother was like, this is what you got to do in like a couple of years, and I was like, oh god.
Just smile.
No heart.
Calling capital V.
So, anyone watch those Game Awards?
Oh, there was some.
I mean, I didn't watch them, but
There was some ironic humor.
I was just mad that The Last of Us Part 2 won like a bunch of stuff, even though really nobody liked the game. And it's just the fact that it's like a high budget game made by a high budget studio made it. So it has to be good.
Dude, I find it funny that it won. I think it won Best Game Direction. I'm not sure.
It won Game of the Year, I thought, right?
It won Game of the Year, but I think it won Best Game Direction. It's like I don't think a game that like they literally had to like grind and do crunch time, like work 6 days a week.
I agree with
that came out.
I
don't think that
should be getting Best Direction.
Well, you also know like Cyberpunk was like that, where people are working over like the last almost year, 6 days a week, crunch time, not paid, like shit like that. But people give it a pass because like it's CD Projekt Red. We love that company. They should be honored to work on Cyberpunk.
CD Projekt Red, I feel like, is a bit different because at least like they're not like super predatory, like say EA or any some other company. They're not like trying to gouge as much money out. I mean, they were still dishonest with their handing out like review copies to people and not giving out any to consoles. But it's sort of it's just unfortunate because the game itself is good. It's marred with technical difficulties, and that's probably why they were delaying it so many times.
Of course, because it's such a big game. Those games that CD Projekt Red makes, like example, just other Witcher 3, that is such like a big immersive game. There's so much stuff to it. It takes that's why when was Witcher 3 out? When did they make that?
I want to say like 2014.
2014, and think, okay, that was like the last biggest game. 6 years later, they make Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk's been in development longer than that.
2015, Witcher 3 came out.
2015, yeah.
2015, yeah. So 5 years they didn't release the game.
Cyberpunk's been in development for like a decade now.
It's insane.
They spent 9 years.
It's based off of, is it a game or a book series from like?
It's a Polish.
It's a board game. It's like a role-playing board, like almost Dungeons and Dragons-esque.
I don't know if it's
okay. Speaking of board games, I gotta go take a piss. So you guys carry the podcast.
Okay. Have fun.
Cyberpunk. They spent 9 years modeling dongs, and then they spent the other year actually fixing glitches.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
They couldn't even get the dongs right.
They had to make sure that it was.
They made this
precise
all 5 inches. Like I'm not saying I'm disappointed by that, but I'm saying for my other homies, for my short kings. I mean, not short kings, but for my, let's say, shorter kings out there.
Small bean.
It's sort of for my small bean kings out there. It's a little unfortunate to have the smallest size.
It's unfortunate.
Larger than what might be there. Now, given that there are cyber augments and there are many options to, let's say, upgrade in the world of Night City, so
I'm not buying Cyberpunk for a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm not buying it because I just have the base PlayStation, dude. If you see gameplay of that, I saw like a thing where it was main. I saw a cutscene where it was the main character, and you're like, it's the first like cutscene on the game, and you're like on a train, and then like it's in a tunnel. Then you go out of the tunnel, then you're supposed to see like Night City, and it's supposed to be like, whoa, big spectacle. Like this is like the open world. But like when the train came out of the tunnel, it was just this very just low res, just like like PlayStation 1 graphics, just like city, and then the game crashed, and then it's like, ooh.
I've heard it does not run well on anything except for like PS5. Like PS5
and
there's even been some crack.
I've seen PC footage, and PC looks really like good, but
you have to be the guy modding the RTX 3080.
All right, I'm back. Stop the clock. What's my time? I think that was the new piss PR. That was a PB.
You're still at a second.
Fuck, dude. I thought
we'll add it in post. We'll add it in post.
They'll add it in post. I'll make it seem like I instantly came back.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. I mean, and that's the thing too. The PCs that can run Cyberpunk, like the good, like need that. Your basic computer you just bought from Walmart won't be able to run it in like the crystal pristine. Like, it's the computers that have a lot of a lot of money put into it for really high end parts that can make it just look so pretty. Where like the common player has like an okay PC, they have a PlayStation 4, a PS4 Pro, shit like that, where it just struggles to run it.
Yeah,
and obviously,
yeah.
I'm someone that if I'm playing Cyberpunk on my PlayStation and the graphics look bad, I'm not gonna be like, this game sucks. Look at how bad the graphics are. Like I can look past that and be like, well, the game's still fun. Just I have shit hardware.
Yeah, that's the important part. Like, is the game actually fun?
Yeah.
But then, then the other problem is all like the awful bugs. Like, not even performance wise, just like
game breaking at some points. Like, all sorts.
Because like even if I will tolerate like setting my slow if the game is fun.
Yeah.
But if it's not fun, then who gives a fuck?
That's like the release how like Fallout 76 released, man, and I played Fallout 76 at launch, so like.
Well, you know what Fallout 76. You know what Cyberpunk has that Cyberpunk has that Fallout 76 doesn't have?
Keanu Chungus.
Customizable penis option.
Oh my god, dude. You're right.
Dude, you can choose penis 1, 2, or 3 on your character, and he's got you can change the
I love the customization.
And honestly, I hear it's not too in depth. Like it's not like I think the Dark Souls character maker is more in depth, but like you can't customize your wiener.
Yeah, let me tell you about the Dark Souls customization screen. Holy, you can make your character look like anything between Ryan Reynolds all the way to Kermit the Frog in one human character customization screen. The things you can do there.
Beef testosterone.
I don't know. Aside from like the Cyberpunk and the shit everyone's talking about, what y'all been playing recently?
Beyond Light. Yeah, before we recorded this podcast, we were on a tear in Iron Banner. We just kept on mercying people, dude.
It was insane.
Yeah. I will say I've been playing a little bit of Europa Universalis, but I'm assuming nobody wants.
No one's heard of that. No one's heard of that. No one's heard of that.
Actually, there might be a viewer out there. We don't want to turn away viewers.
Okay, fine. If you've heard of that game, if you've heard or played of that game, comment below. Comment.
Yeah. Share if you've seen that.
I've been
Persona.
It's not recently. I'm waiting for Scramble. Recently, it's been Danganronpa. So.
Dang, an even worse game with an even worse community. Let's go.
I haven't found the community that horrible yet, but it's like it's JRPG, so it will be cringe.
The Game Grumps got their hands on it, John. It went to the shitter, man.
Oh, fuck.
The Game Grumps play it. I mean, it's bad. No, I'm playing.
Dude, what's the like worst game community you've like seen? Like
Persona Twitter.
Persona 5. No, just Persona in general.
Let me see. I don't know if this will if this counts as like a community, but VR chat. I got called the N-word and my computer crashed, so
VR chat, it's a mixed bag. Like you can literally find anything there, but something like For Honor, you're bound to either go up against a sweat like god at the game who's just gonna instantly kill you and then just stand there like nothing happened, or you're gonna go up against somebody who messages you for like the next month saying that you were bad because you lost by 1 round by him pushing you off a cliff. Like that's literally. Oh god.
I remember like the first like week or maybe the first month. I don't remember when Fallout 76 came out. Like I was playing that and I built out my base and big castle and I was like, this is epic. And I put down this like water pump. So I'm just chilling in my base and this guy walks up. He just starts using my water pump and I'm like, okay, like I don't care. It's just a water pump. Like starts walking away, pulls out a rocket launcher, just starts shooting my base. Like you take my water, then you blow up my base. Like come on home.
So I'm assuming what you did later is you followed him to his home, killed him, burned his house down, and killed his wife. And then found his IP in real life, and then proceeded to do the same thing in real life.
Yeah, no, I wired his credit card to my bank account. So
What's that?
Are we laughing at the same thing you were seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll figure out how to throw that on screen. That's hilarious. John just sent this in the chat.
That's the only thing that came to mind.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I want to talk about Persona for a second. So, I beat Persona 5 sometime last year. I'm very close to beating Persona 5 Royal. Like, I'm in, like, spoiler alert, by the way, if you're watching this and you play Persona 5, spoiler, I'm in the final part where, like, you're in Mementos, like, gonna fight God. And then I obviously have the extras Royal stuff to play.
The new shit. The new shit is where it's at.
I can't wait, dude. Like, I'm just so hyped for, like, the new, like, new Akechi story after the fact. Like, I can't wait.
It's some of the best content in any of the Persona games. Like, just in a vacuum.
And Persona 5 Scramble comes out for, like, the West, like, an English version that's not all in Japanese in February. And then I have Persona 4 to play still, and I might play Persona 3 one day.
You should. It's good.
Got, like, cyberpunk graphics, like...
Yeah, it's on the PS1.
Was it released before I was born? I don't know.
No, it was like 2005. We were born by then.
July 2006. So I was 3.
3 when that glorious game came out. All 5 people that were playing it then.
If Chris is gonna go out on this Persona tangent, I'll be dang. I don't know. I got through 1 and 2. I'm playing 3. I am extreme. If anyone here has played Danganronpa 3, I got through the first case. I am sad. That's all.
Some of the people I know in our grade that one of them plays it. It just seems too cringe. Like, Persona's like as cringe as I'll go, and that's pretty mainstream cringe. But like Danganronpa, that's like too far down the rabbit hole, I feel.
I had people on Discord keep all playing it, and I was like, fuck, might as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun though, so.
Oh, and if you're listening to this and you're like, this is cringe, what are they talking about? We can explain the plots really quick. So the plot of Persona 5 is...
Do not. No,
I'll do it briefly.
Out.
So you are...
Anyone that stopped caring...
we'll make this quick. Under a minute explanation. You're a Japanese high school student, and you find this magic power on your phone, and you go into the magic world, and you have powers, and you start by defeating a gym teacher that's a pedophile, and within a year, you kill God. The power escalates. Yep. Kill God.
Yep. So, like real life?
Yep, just like real life. We're on month 6.
I can explain Danganronpa in 2 seconds. Bunch of extremely talented high schoolers stuck in school and are forced to kill each other to get out.
Let's go.
That sounds fun.
Dude, that sounds like normal high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like
trying to kill each other by spreading coronavirus.
God. Hey, in person ain't that bad.
In person, you actually learn stuff, but virtual, it's, grades usually are better.
Any virtual schoolers listening right now? Am I right? Like, don't you hate it? Is it fun? Do you like it? How is it?
I hate it.
Right?
I'm starting to hate it more and more.
Yeah.
We did a week of it and I hated it.
Dude, I did the first term virtual, and my Zoom connectivity, it wasn't my Wi-Fi, it was just my Chromebook. My Chromebook was so laggy, I would lag out of calls every other time. And so I'd end up getting, like, no new information learned, and I'd do horrible on, like, assessments.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, and I don't even think they're going to give us the option of doing a pass or fail grade this year for, like, if we do bad in a class. I don't even think they're going to give us that option.
That was super nice last year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need it, thankfully, but like,
yeah, same.
I guess it would sort of disadvantage in-person students this year. I still think they should do the pass-fail thing. Just
I mean, I can see them only offering it to virtual students.
I feel like they won't though, because like this year they have their shit unlock where it's like their excuse to be, well, you guys know how to work with this now, so it's like I feel like they won't do it.
Yeah, and it sucks though, because like, especially if you've taken like really hard classes and it's a virtual or like COVID year, and you're absolutely like, you're super unlucky. I mean, unless you've got like, like all pretty easy classes, then you've got nothing to worry about. It doesn't really affect you. But like AP and whatnot classes, and you're virtual, for example, you've got bad Wi-Fi. Good luck, because I'll need it.
Chris, what is this?
It's a gift of the guy pooping in the
That was
toilet.
Chris when he had to go for a second.
Yeah, that was me in my 3-minute speed run of using the bathroom.
Cry about it.
Cry about it.
Okay, I'm going to the idea sheet. All right, hardest sport.
Cross country. Next.
Cross country.
No.
Nah.
It
We're gonna speed run cross.
It's not
the lightning round of questions.
Nope, it's not cross country. It's wrestling. Cross country is like second or third.
I could see it to wrestling because like you actually have to like shower before and after, and then you have to, I mean, you're literally wrestling people. Like
Ryan, you're telling me showering is the hardest thing to do
at school, showering at school.
Not really. You just shower. I did wrestling freshman year.
And you've done it 1 year. Any reason why you've only done it 1 year?
Because it was hard. It was too hard.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it again.
I want to shower at school. I understand, Chris. It's fine.
I've heard people say that swimming is really hard because of how early you have to get up for it.
Man, I wish we had to run at like 5 a.m. I'd totally get used to waking up that early. I think you have so much time. You swim for like a couple hours, and it's still like 7 in the morning. You still have so much time to do. So much time.
I am so tired after practice. Like I don't do anything until 7.
That's facts. Like especially mid-season, like you're just exhausted if you're like putting if you're putting all of your effort out into it. And I'd hate waking up at like 5 because I'm already tired when I wake up at 7. So like if I woke up at 5, ran, and then had a whole day of school, I couldn't do that.
Your body get used to it, man. That's all I'm saying.
And then even after that, you have to do homework.
I'd get used to it.
If you had a study in like a study hall, first block, it could be nice.
Well, wait, John. Persona 3 Strikers.
What?
Persona 3 Strikers.
Bro, I just want a remake.
One day.
Or a
okay.
remaster.
Talking about music. Hey. And listen to the new Ludwig Christmas album.
No, I have not.
Come a long way since he sang, what was that one Fast and Furious song?
Oh, that's hilarious. Also, here, another thing we'll add in, Ludwig. Very popular streamer. He does YouTube as well. Hilarious. Probably one of my favorite content creators of all time on the internet. Hilarious. He sings. He used to sing when he was a kid, so he kind of sing every once in a while. And he did a cover of the famous song from Fast and Furious. I don't remember the name. It goes a little bit like, "It's been a long day without you, my friend."
Drop the octave.
I quoted myself there.
Yeah.
This album bangs.
I don't know. Haven't heard it.
I can play it right now. Kidding. I don't know the music about it.
No, I don't want to get copyrighted strike.
Yeah.
I'll do my cover over his cover. So then,
right?
Yeah, it won't get copyrighted.
Speaking of content creators,
Scott the Wise. Also, yeah, what's everyone watching? Because I remember, what are we all been watching? Any funny YouTubers?
Like just YouTubers or just like shows or stuff?
Nah, Donkey is currently in the middle of one of the greatest like YouTube like bits I've ever seen.
I saw.
Yep.
That Among Us video.
The last Tuesday or something, he's like, I'm done making good content.
I mean, it's true. What he said is factual. Instead of making like a couple uploads a month, just spew out hot trash once a day.
Yeah. Gotta pay the bills. Like, I wasn't expecting him to actually do it. So
he did an Among Us. That Among Us 1v1 is hilarious.
I'm done with Among Us Tuesdays.
It kind of sucks because Among Us was like a really fun game, and then I feel like it just sort of got ruined.
But then the internet took hold of it and just made it unfun for months.
Yeah.
It was Among like Undertale.
I remember I catfished people as in Among Us. I pretended to be a female. That was the greatest moment of my life.
Pretend to be a girl so they don't vote you out.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You'd be surprised how much power Connor wielded.
Yeah, Ryan was there. Yeah,
it was actually kind of sad because like literally all he would do is just he would say like it's my girl power or something, and then like
it's my
person would be like, can I follow you? Like, that was the name he used.
Oh my god!
Follow you, like I trust you, and like I don't know whether it's just like it's kids or like people who are legitimately like.
It's got to just be like 11-year-olds, right?
Yeah, honestly. Especially also, like every Among Us game I join now, it's like 2-speed, and I can tell that it's just like kids setting the settings because nobody plays at 2-speed.
Also, dude, I hate people that do public servers. I hate them. That is the worst way to play the game. It's terrible.
My brother does, and it's just awful.
It's terrible. Well, if you don't know what it is, if you're listening to this, you definitely do. But if you don't, it's a social deduction game where it's just like.
Okay, no, people know it. No, people know what it is. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you definitely know what it is, but
the
fun of it is that you're playing with people you know, and then you talk in person or on a video call between rounds instead of typing in chat where somebody could just cheat. It's just not the same experience. It's a waste of your time.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just no longer fun. Like even playing it with friends, playing with people I actually know, I have to do 5 games tops, like every other week. Otherwise, I just get burnt out.
Same.
Yeah.
Here, before we wrap it up, John, what are your current thoughts on the political climate in Yemen right now?
Think very carefully.
Yeah, there's a right answer here, John.
It's very touchy, but a touchy subject.
Answer the question.
It can't be touchy when there's only one right answer.
You're dodging the question, John.
Yes, I am. I'm not. But Yemen.
So, are you telling me you're not in support of Yemen, John? What are you trying to say here?
I wish to eliminate Yemen. I'm erasing it.
All right, that wraps it up. You've heard.
And this is going on the air, by the way. This is going on www.youtube.com.
I'm replacing it with water.
The world is heard.
Yep.
Yeah. If you have questions you would like for us to answer, message our official Instagram page at official Lunchpail Kids official Instagram, or comment them down below, and we can answer them if they're good.
Please, I need content.
Yeah. So, I guess plugs, John. If you have anything you want to plug, like you have a social media account you want people to follow.
Nah, not really. I don't have a huge Instagram.
Do you have Danganronpa? Do you have Danganronpa Discord servers you want people to join?
Nah.
We can put those in the description.
Nah, I don't really have anything to plug, so.
Damn. Well, all right. Ryan and Connor, plugs.
Just at the Lunchpail Kids. That's the channel account. So any questions, keep up to date on the content that we don't produce.
Link in bio, link in description.
Link in the description.
Yeah. And you can find me at Rainwa_4 on Instagram if you want to follow. I mean, that's it. Wait, quick, before we end it, Chris, put in the fart sound effect. Nice. All right. Thanks again for coming on, John. This has been fun and worthwhile talking, especially about cross country. Awesome. And we hope to have you on again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace, Lunchpailers.
Delete that.